Hi, welcome to Willis Farms. Today we're going to go over the Hello Fall stencil tutorial. This is what you're going to need: your base, your Hello Happy Fall stencil, your paint, your brush, and your, what I like to call your stencil stick. First, you're going to take your stencil stick and rub it on your stencil. This is a 3-part stencil, so you're going to make sure that your transfer tape is adhered to the blue stencil product. Now, step 2 is you're going to take the paper off of the stencil. My puppy Bella always likes to say hi in my videos, so make sure when you're commenting to say hello back to Bella. You're going to pull the transfer paper off of your stencil, and now you're going to make sure your stencil is clean and just lay your stencil down on your base. Now, you can make sure if you just place it down lightly, you can pick it up and move it. Now, step 3 is we're going to take our stencil stick and we're going to rub with force against that stencil and also the transfer tape. If you notice, the type of stencil that I am using, it actually becomes a little opaque when you're rubbing it because this is a blue stencil. So you're going to make sure that you're rubbing it and making sure that all of those voids are covered. So when you pull up the transfer tape, that blue stencil is adhered to your base. We're just going to go over the whole entire thing. You can either use the top of the stencil stick, as I am doing, using my pointer finger, or you can use the whole entire stick and just rub it completely across. I always like to say this is a perfect way to get the stress out. Step number 4. Now you're going to remove that transfer tape from that blue stencil. Sometimes you're going to have to go at a couple of corners, and if you notice this corner is being a little bit stubborn, so you're just going to keep peeling until you can get that transfer tape. Now you're going to want to pull across, like I'm showing you right here. You are not wanting to pull up. If you pull up, it's going to pull your stencil with it, so you're just going to want to do your absolute best to pull across. This transfer tape can be very sticky, so just take your time and just go as slow as possible. This is the success of getting your stencil stuck onto your project. And I do apologize for my camera not be inverted. I have tried numerous times and my phone doesn't have that capability, unfortunately. Bella once again is saying hello in the video. She likes to play with her squeaky toys as I paint. So you're going to just go ahead and pull the rest of that transfer tape up. And if by chance it pulls up your stencil, that's fine. This is step 4. Step 5, kind of lost count. But you're going to use the side of your thumb and you're going to go over your whole entire project. And just make sure you're sealing that stencil onto that void, okay? So that's the voided area is where you're going to apply the paint. And so you're just going to wait and make sure that you go over that whole entire area with your thumb, or you can use your stencil stick if you don't want to use your thumb on this. And now we're going to go the next step and we're going to apply our paint. This is Fusion Mineral Paint Mustard. And so we're going to take our stencil. You're going to dab it right, like as upright as you can, and then you're going to dab off. And then you're going to apply it. You're going to dab, you are not going to brush. So make sure that you are just dabbing up and down on your stencil. And when you need to reload your brush, go back to where you dabbed off first until that becomes dry. And then when you need to reload because your dabbed off area is too dry, make sure that, I know this is really complicated, but it'll show in the video, that you're always making sure that when you reload in the large amount of paint, that you always dab off before you go back to your stencil. So we're just going to keep dabbing up and down on this and making sure that we fill each voided area with our paint. So just going up and down, and you're going to keep filling that in. Now, it depends on what color you're using, if you need a second application for this. Mustard has a lot of pigment, but I did end up going over a second application, but that will be further in the video. So we're just going to make sure that we're dabbing and we're filling in all of our voids. When you dab, fill your brush, you're going to make sure you dab off. And we're just going over our whole entire project. And just making sure that you're going up and down with the stencil, because if you use brush strokes, you have a higher chance of actually getting the paint underneath your stencil. If you dab, it's an application that is just going on top, and it is filling in the voided areas. Now I'm going to do my leaves. Just dabbing. Refilling my brush on where I dab off after I refill in the large paint area, continuing just to dab. And then I'm going to quickly just do a quick dab over on areas where I feel it could use a little bit of extra paint. Okay. Now this is step 6. The next step that we're going to do is our paint has dried, and now we're going to peel our stencil. If you have an area that's too tough to come up, and once again, I apologize for my belly, my Bella, I call her Belly, for squeaking her toy. If you have an area that's too hard, just find another corner, and all you're going to do, if your paint is completely dry, you don't have to worry about it touching the surface. I highly recommend dry peeling once the paint is completely dry, and you're just going to peel that stencil completely off of your project. And it comes off, and this is where you get to reveal your beautiful work that you have done. Now, if you see that you have some runs, which I do not on this project, but if you see that you have some runs, don't worry about it. I always add a little bit of oops paint so you can just paint that base and cover up those oops. So we're continuing to peel up our stencil here. And then the next step that we're going to do is to remove all those voids, and you can just do that with your fingernail. If you do have toothpicks, that's another way that you can get those voids up. And you're just going to go over it and remove all of those. And that's just going to show the, the voids in the letters. That's what we're doing right now. And there you have it. Happy fall. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy.